welcome to JMC V-Learning program. Today you are joining with grade 10 English subject. We are going to start a new lesson. The lesson is information. This is unit 6. We are starting this lesson in second term. So let's go to learn this lesson. Sources of information. What is an information? Information is a data regarding something. If you want to get an idea about something, we can find informations, or we can say that is data. Resources of data. Here the topic is given as sources of information or sources of data. Sources of data means where we can find the information, from what we can get data we want. So sources are the places where we can get information. So in this lesson we are talking about information, and first we are talking about the sources where we can get information. In the past we used different criteria, so different ways to find information, but in the present it is different. Earlier we used newspapers, television, radio, leaflets, those kind of printable things mostly to get an information. But nowadays you can use internet, you can go to a website, you can Google anything you want, and very quickly you can get information, so data. So in this part we are talking about those kind of sources where we can find information. Let's go to the first part of the lesson. An information source is anything that might inform a person about something or provide knowledge of it. An information source is anything that might inform a person about something or provide knowledge of it. From the source we can get the idea, from that source we can go through it and we can get data or information. Information can come from different sources. There is not only one source for get information, there are many sources of information. Such as people, you can get information from people. Very earlier, if you want to know about some person or a place or whatever, we used to ask from a person who knows about that. Then you can use television, as we discussed earlier, radio, newspapers, books, journals and magazines, encyclopedias and web pages. So these are some sources where we can get information. Different types of questions require different source of information. There may be that you want to know about history. Sometimes you want to know about nature. Maybe sometimes you want to know about a language or a subject. So you can't find all these details in one source. You have to go through different sources to get different information. So if your question is different, the answer also different. So you have to go through different kind of sources to get information. The type of information you need will change depending on the question you are trying to answer. According to your question, the resource is different and the answer also different. Here you can see some pictures. What do you think about these pictures? Study the following examples of common sources of information and do the activities that follow. End of this part, there is an activity. We have to do that activity as well. So while we are discussing about, while we are talking about this part, you have to keep those things in your mind. So what are the pictures you can see? What is the idea you can get about this? Let's move to the first picture. Let's see what is that. A. This picture is called as A because it is important when you are doing the activity. These are collections of articles and pictures. These are about various topics of popular interest and current events. Usually these articles are written by journalists or scholars. So here directly they are not giving us the idea what is this. But when we are reading this, we can get the idea what is this. Here it mentioned these are collection of articles and pictures. Where a resource we can see articles and pictures together, we know what is that. Various topics of popular interest and current events. So we can see different kind of articles and pictures inside these. Usually these articles are written by journalists or scholars. Journalists are used to write these things. Let's see later when we are doing the activity, let's talk about this. Then the second one, when you see the picture, I know that you can get the correct idea what is this, but in the activity we are talking about that. So this is B. The first one is A, then the second one regarding this picture, it is B. These are collections of articles. These are collection of articles. Not only one article, we can see different kind of articles inside this. Articles about current events usually published daily. Here the article says about something popular, interesting, something very popular in the society. But here these are also articles, but these articles are about the incidents what happens daily in our lives. So since there is at least one in every city, it is a great source of local information. If we can use this one, we can get the information about daily things, what is happening in our day-to-day life, what is happening in the society, what is happening in your country or the city. So we can use this source to get the idea about different kind of articles which is happening daily in our lives. Let's move to the other one. Here again you can see some pictures. When you see this, you know what is that. But this one, I hope it's bit confused. Okay, however, let's go to the theory part. This is C, the third one what we are going to talk. This part, the paragraph is regarding this picture. We'll see what is that. These cover virtually and any topic, fact or fiction. Here we can write about different kind of things, different topics, facts or fiction. This is one of the most common sources of information used by many people. Not using, more than using now, we used to use this in earlier. So this is what we can write different kind of topics, facts and different kind of fictions. We used to use this particular source in earlier more than now. Okay, then let's move to the part D. These are collections of short fractions entries. These are short. These are short. Then there are two types of these called general and subject. So when we are talking about this in the activity, you can get the idea what I am talking here. General ones provide overview on a wide variety of topics, while the other containing depth entries focusing on one field of study. This source is used to get information about particular thing, particular topic, but there you can see the deep of that. You can read A to Z about that particular topic if you are going through this part, right. Again here we can see another pictures. I think it's very clear to you. Here we can see BBC News and some kind of information are there, and this is another information, right. The first one is E. This allows you to access information on the internet. Then if you want to get information using this one, what we are going to learn in the activity, if you want to go through this, you must use the internet. So internet through a browser. You have to use a browser and you have to go through internet to look or to get information through this source. One of the main features of this is speed. This source of information is very speed than the other one what we discussed earlier. This contains information beyond plain text. Not only a text, you can take many different ways of information through this. It includes sounds. Now when we go through the other one what we saw earlier, we just got a text, but here you can listen to sounds, images, you can see images and videos as well. You can see all these things if you go through this. Okay, the last one, F. This is an organized and searchable collection. This is organized as well as searchable collection of online records. Here you can take online records of this, of every item in a library. You can get like a library, you can get all the details online. So here we have learnt about few sources. Let's go to the activity. Activity 1, study the pictures given above and read the descriptions that accompany them. Next, match each description with a subheading. Here they have given description, then a subheading is there. Right, can you remember the first one what we learned here? The A. Okay, now I am asking from you, what do you think about this A? What is this? You know that if articles are there, we called it a magazine. So A is a magazine. Then what is this? The second one we learned, the B, the second one, we call this newspapers. First here we went through magazines, then here we see newspapers. Then this C, when you see the picture you know them. We call this source as books. We used this earlier more than now. Then these are called encyclopedias. That means you can learn about something, a particular topic, but many more information about that. Right. Then the next one. This one, it is website. Website, you can use internet and go to websites and you can listen to them, you can see the images and you can see the videos as well. Then finally, here you can see online library catalogs. Here we say this online library catalogs. Right. When we go to the activity, A is magazines, as we discussed. You can take your pupils book and you can go through them and you can try to understand what I say here. B, that is newspapers, as we discussed. C, those are books. Then D, encyclopedias. You can just learn many more things under these books about history, animal, environment, A to Z, all the details are there in encyclopedias. Then E is website. Then finally online library catalog. So those are the pictures what we learned in this lesson, and those are the different sources what we can get information or data regarding any question or anything you want. Let's move to activity 2. Read the description on sources of information and say whether the following statements are true or false. Here students, when you are writing papers, the questions can be given like, if the statement is true, write T, capital T or T. Then if the statement is false, write F. But in this case, I have seen that many students, they are just tick them, or using cross they are telling that is false. But here you are asked to put T or F. If the statement is true, T. If the statement is false, F. So you have to follow the introductions. Here you have to write like that. More than writing even true, false in words, you have to follow what's the introduction given. Okay, let's go to the first one. A magazine contains articles on different topics. That is true. We learned that in articles we can see different kind of articles. In a magazine we can see different kind of articles. Browsing the web is slower when compared to using other source of information. What do you think about that? You can just take your computer or your phone and you can just go through Google or any other searching browser, and within a second you can find any details than find in a book or searching something in a book. Like that. So here browsing the web is slower when compared to using other source of information. That part is incorrect. So we have to write F there, saying it is false. An encyclopedia provides long articles on a particular topic. What do you think about that? Yes, true. That is true. Regarding history or regarding some people, any country, A to Z details are there in encyclopedia. So this statement is true. Then all newspapers are published on a daily basis. Most newspapers published in daily basis, but some are there that they publish once a week, like that. But here most newspapers they publish in daily, but here we have write false, as all the newspapers are not publishing daily. You need the internet facility to access information on the web. True, you have to use internet to search something using websites. A library catalog provides easy access to the information available in a library. True, you can get more information using library catalogs regarding any information you want to get. Okay, right. Now we have completed the activity 2. Right, let's move to the next activity. Activity 4, writing. This is an activity, it's a writing activity. Read the paragraph on newspapers. Now we can see some paragraphs which is taken from newspapers. Next, write a similar paragraph on books using the information given. Here the topic is newspapers and they have given a paragraph, it is described about newspapers. But here the topic is there and only the important points are given. So after reading this, what we have to do is we have to go through these points and we have to write another paragraph about books. Right, let's read these newspapers. Newspapers contain news, information, entertainment and advertising. They are most often published daily or weekly. Newspapers, now in earlier we discussed about that. We can't say that all the newspapers they publish daily. They may publish them daily or weekly. They give news as to what is happening around the world. Newspapers also express opinion about social and political problems through the editorial. They reflect public opinion as well. They arouse our conclusions. They arouse our consequences of important matters and teach the citizens their rights and responsibilities. Okay, this is about newspapers. What newspapers gives us? What is a newspaper? How we can see them? How often we can see them? Then they have given the topic books and they have given us the main points of this topic. Let's go through them as well. Contain information, articles, stories most often published at any time according to the need. Now here the correct grammar part was here. So when we are writing a paragraph regarding a given topic, if the points are given, we need to arrange them with the grammar. We have to make the sentence according to the flow. That's what we are going to do. Sometimes give information on what is happening around society and reflect opinion of the author. Here the first point given is contain information, books. We can see information there, articles, stories, all those things we can see in a book. Most often published at any time. If you are an author, if you are a writer, whenever you want to write about something, whenever you want to write a book, you can write that. There is no any daily basis or weekly basis, no any time period for that. Then that is the first point. Then sometimes give information on what is happening around society. So it works as a newspaper as well. But and reflect opinion of the author. In a newspaper, we can see the writer is writing the details about the society or the environment. But here, when a writer writes a book, he can he can join all the ideas or all his opinions to the book. So it differs from the newspaper in that point. Then the third one, sometimes express opinion about the social and political problems as well. In a newspaper, we can't write, the writer can't write what he thinks. He has to write what is happening. But in a book, the author can write whatever he wants to say, what he thinks about the incident. Then the last part makes us sensitive to certain issues in society. When we are reading a book, when an author is written, there we are just taking his ideas as well. So in that case, in the certain issues we can be sensitive, we can think as the writer thinks. So it differs from newspaper. So this is the difference in between newspaper and book. So here we are given a paragraph, but here only the points. Now let's see how to use these points and make a paragraph. Okay, I have discussed 4 points there. Then in those 4 points I have used them and I have written a paragraph here. Books contain articles and stories as mentioned earlier. They are most often published at any time according to the need. Here you can see books contain articles. Here I have put the grammar part and make the sentence. Then they are most often published. Not only a point, here I have written a complete sentence. Sometimes they give information on what is happening around society and reflect opinion of the author. Sometimes the books express, I have joined the idea with the verb and I have given the complete idea. Opinion about the social and political problems. The books make us sensitive to certain issues in society. So that's how you can use those points and make a paragraph here. Let's move to the activity 5. Use the information in the grid to write a paragraph about Hiruni's favorite book. Okay, we are given few details, few information in this grid, and what we have to do is we have to write a paragraph. We have to write a paragraph about what? We have to write a paragraph about Hiruni's favorite book. You can begin like this. So this question also, normally this is coming to your papers. They are given a story and they will say you how to start the story. And what you have to do is you have to start as they have started and you have to continue the story as you want. So here the informations are given. Here it is described about a book. The name of the book is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Then author, Mark Twain is the author of this book. Then type of story, this is children's novel. The type is children's novel. Main characters here, Tom Sawyer, Aunt Polly, Huckleberry Finn, like that. There are few characters in this story. Story in brief. Now they have given a brief story to us. Then we can include in that paragraph. Tom is an energetic young boy whose constant search of fun and adventure leads him towards many danger. But being brave and courageous, he overcomes them and becomes famous. So this story about a boy, and this is the brief of this story. Then why you like it? Why Hiruni likes it? Because you are writing about Hiruni. So why does she like it? Because it is funny, exciting and interesting. So let's see how to write this in a paragraph or in a story. Yes, I have given that in points. Either you can use as paragraph or like this. Hiruni's favorite book is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Hiruni's favorite book is. We are talking about this book now. So I can use it like Hiruni's favorite book is The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. So I have joined the book and the name of that in one sentence. The author of this book is Mark Twain. Then, and this is categorized as a children's novel. Now when we are going to the earlier part, it was given as 2 details. But all the details you don't need to just write in different sentences. You can just gather them or join them. I have also done it like here. 2 points I have joined here and I have written one sentence. So the author of this book is Mark Twain and this is categorized as a children's novel. Then the third point, Tom Sawyer, Aunt Polly, Huckleberry Finn are the main characters of this novel. So the characters are given. Here the characters are here. And the main topic is here. But I have jumbled it and I have created the sentence as I want. Tom Sawyer, Aunt Polly, Huckleberry Finn are the main characters of this novel. Then the brief was there. the brief of the story. So I have taken that part as same as they are, and I have given it. Tommy is an energetic young boy whose constant search for fun and adventure leads him towards many dangers, but being brave and courageous, he overcomes them and becomes famous. So I have taken the same part here, and you can say this is the brief of this is a summary of this book if you want. Then finally, the story is really funny, exciting and interesting. That is what Hiruni felt about the story. So like that, if any part is given, any points are given to write a paragraph, you can use as you want. You can mix it and you can join sentences, you can join points, and you can use the grammar parts and conjunctions and any all other things to make a paragraph, and you can make something like this if you were asked. Okay, now we have completed half of the lesson. Next we'll move to the other part of the lesson.